What is up, everybody? Welcome to the BarbacoaCore Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick C. Huerta. Before we get into today's episode, let me remind you or ask of you to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or SoundCloud or even the YouTube. Um, 5-star review on iTunes. Give us a like. Subscribe on whichever platform you use to listen to the podcast. That will help the podcast visibility, help us reach a broader audience, and hopefully get more people, more listeners in on the podcast. Um, you can also follow the BarbacoaCore Podcast on Instagram at BarbacoaCore Podcast. That is where I like to push, promote, repost anything that the guests or friends of the podcast have going on. Any questions, you could contact me at barbacoacore at yahoo.com or anything about me, any shows I got coming up, or anything related to the podcast, you could find on the website www.barbacoacore.com. Again, thank you very much for listening. Let's get into this episode. What is up, everybody? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Today is going to be a solo episode. I didn't book anybody today for this episode. I had a kind of a busy week. I just want to do a little short episode, solo episode, just catch up on what's been going on in my life. I have been thinking about this. I did do a post yesterday, but I took it down because I felt a little bad about it. But I've been really. It's been a long time since I've been this stoked on life. Just stoked about life in general. It's been a really long time. I kind of feel, I don't know why, I kind of feel guilty about being so stoked about life. Probably just because I'm coming out of a dark spot, a little depression moment type of thing. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I did post something about that, and I'm not gonna lie, it was during. I was drinking at the time. I had just come home from doing the LOL showcase, and it's just getting back into comedy has really helped. Helped how I feel about myself, about life, and then getting busy. Like I have a few comedy shows coming up, some things that I was involved in, happening, and just the fact that I'm getting the chance to stay busy in comedy is just really giving me making me feel good about life. So I'm very stoked about what's going on. It's been a while since I've been this stoked. Just having something to work towards, to work on, to have on the calendar, just really makes a difference in somebody's maybe outlook. Um, so yeah, if you're out there, if you're feeling down on yourself, or you feel just uh, just a little blue or whatever, maybe pick up a hobby, pick up or get back into your old hobbies. Start following through with plans that you said that you were going to do. Get more involved. It's really important that you keep yourself busy. Um, just for your own well being. So yeah, because I did take a little break from comedy. I did have some family in town. My sister and my niece and nephew were in town from Washington. So we really don't get to see each other that often. So yeah, I took time off of work. Weren't going out at nights to do the open mics or doing any shows during that time. And it was fun. It was great to hang out with them, hang out with the niece and nephew, hang out with the sister. My family, we don't really get together that often because we're all spread out doing our own thing. But it was a good time, just spending time with family. So that was fun. and it was great. But taking that time off from comedy, open mics, and all that stuff, it did kind of take a toll on me when everybody, went back to their normal lives. Went back to their jobs, went back to their homes, and all that stuff. And I thought like, okay, I could just jump back into it too, and it wasn't that easy. For me, like some people could take weeks, months, even years off of a certain project, a certain thing, and then just jump right back into it. I really don't work that way. I have to get like a walking to running start type of thing. So when I was jumping back into, hitting the open mics and doing shows and all that stuff, it just took me a while to get into that groove, get into that cadence of it, and yeah. So now that I'm getting back into it, I feel like a whole lot better. Now that I got that thing going. So yeah. It was funny though because I am part like of this writing group type of thing. We get together, we discuss ideas that we want to bring to stage. We get asked questions like why do you care about that? Why would we care about that? Why is it funny? What's the conflict? What's the solution? Stuff like that. And I hadn't thought about it, but one of the guys there said like you'd rather be playing music. And I never really thought about that, but that's 100% true. I much rather be playing music just because I spent so much time like getting good at that, getting good at playing drums, getting good at writing music. So like now like with the comedy thing, like I do love it. It's a lot of fun, but I know that I'm not as good as I wish I was. I'm still pretty early into it, and I do enjoy it. I'm glad that it's something that I'm doing. But when he just stated, like I know you rather be playing music. I mean, I'd rather be playing music, and I never really thought about that. Like, I would love to be in a band and playing music again, but that's just not in the cards for me. Because with music, as a drummer, you need other people. You need to be in similar schedule situations. You need other people's commitment, and that's just not something that I have available to me here. Um, and I know that. I mean, I'm fine with that. Like I made my peace with that, and I'm not mad about that. I understand that that's just where we are. My musician friends and people that I would play music with, that's just where we are at this. Because with music, I took it very seriously, and if I was in a band with you, then I was like 100%, and I expected 100% from everybody else. Just because if we're gonna be wasting our time doing this, like let's do it to the fullest. Like why half-ass it? And I could never approach music just half-ass, just because I spent a lot of time trying to get as good as I felt I was. I was a very confident drummer, musician, and I don't have that same confidence when it comes to comedy, nowhere near it actually. But it's funny though because like with music, I would always like enjoy the build up to the show and then have fun in the show, and then afterwards be like just dead ass like tired. Like okay, I, I'm I'm glad this is over. I'm glad it's over with. And with comedy, it's kind of the opposite. Like I'm very nervous before I go on stage, almost to the point of like going like I don't want to do this. I know I signed up. I know I said I would do the show. I don't want to do this at all. But then I get on stage and then it's fun. I'm having fun, and then at the end of it, I'm like, fuck yeah, when can I do that again? Like just the high. It's different from being a drummer in a band than being a solo person trying to do comedy in front of a group of people. You know, still brings the same kind of happiness, kind of, but it's a lot of fun to do. So yeah, I mean, now that it was brought to my attention, something that I hadn't really thought about. Like, of course, I would rather be playing music, something that I know that I'm 100% confident that I'm good at, than doing comedy because I have no confidence in that. Um, but then again, I do feel like kind of like rewarded when I do have like a good set or a good show, um, and I think that new things that I was working on works or hits with the crowd, and just understanding it better. So maybe when I do get the confidence that I had, when I do get the confidence in comedy that I had as a drummer, then maybe it'll be equally as fun and equally the same type of way I work about it and the way I feel about it. Um, but yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, I guess like wasn't like it wasn't surprising. Like nobody would be surprised that I thought that, because I still post like old clips of like music that I used to do, you know, because that whole thing about me missing being in a band, in a group, on stage, playing music that I really love. Of course I miss it. So you'll always see me, not always, but you'll see me like post like, oh, look at this clip of a show that I did 5 years ago. Uh, and I don't know why I do that. I mean, I enjoy watching those clips. I enjoy listening to like the old records that I'm on. Um, but I don't know why I still feel like, hey, don't forget that I used to do this, when I'm on the social medias and stuff. And it's just also good because like a lot of the people that I played music with were some of my best friends. So it's just always good to like look back and like at the time that like, oh, remember when we all cared about this one thing like a lot, like we all really cared about this one thing a lot, and plus it was fun. It was good, and I was a really good drummer. I wasn't the best. I wasn't anywhere near being professional, but I was confident in my abilities, and I was good. I was good at it. And so now I just wanna be have that same confidence when it comes to comedy. Like I'm good. I am good at it. I don't have that yet. I'm still having a lot of fun with it, and yeah, you know, like last night I was part of the showcase at the LOL, and I felt kind of bad because um, they picked the showcase, and there's a lot of comedians, there's a lot of people that want to get on the showcase, and to be honest, I just did the showcase maybe not even a month ago, maybe a little bit more than a month ago. It was the first time I did the LOL showcase, and I fucking bombed. Like the crowd wasn't feeling me, I wasn't feeling me, um, and the showcase is an extended time. Usually with the open mics you get like 5 minutes. The showcase is supposed to be like 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes or something. Um, I just I the first showcase was just horrible. I felt really bad, felt ill prepared, and then I kind of got them towards the end, but not really. And then yeah, and then it was over, and I was like, fuck, I just wasted that showcase. Because sometimes the general manager looks at you, and sometimes they'll approach you about maybe doing some more shows there at the LOL, but I knew that my first showcase was not something that I was proud of. I was pretty bummed out about that too. But then yesterday's showcase, like I came like I was surprised that they asked me to do it, and I actually didn't believe that. I thought it was maybe an accident up until I got to the LOL and I saw the list, and I was there like number 4 on the list. And I was like, okay, yeah, it is real. They are giving me another shot for some reason. I wasn't going to question why. I just knew that I needed to do better this time than I did the first time. And I feel like I did. I feel like I had a really good set. Wound up doing like 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes. And then what's funny is like I still work off of like a notebook type of thing, with like kind of like a set list, but just like bullet points of bang, 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 just to keep myself in line so I don't go up like, oh, what do I say next? I really didn't have to look at that set list too much, but it was just there like as a safety net. And then when they gave me the light it means like to wrap it up. When I looked at the list, I still had like maybe like 5 other jokes that I could have done, which means like if that was my 10-minute set, I still had maybe a good other 5 minutes, something like that, 3 to 5 minutes that I could have tacked onto that if need be. So I'm building up my set, stuff that I feel comfortable with. I'm still in the editing process. There's jokes that I've been doing that just do not work, and so I need to just bail on those because you don't want to bail on a joke too early, because just because it doesn't work in this room, maybe it'll work in another room. But I've been doing this one joke, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, and so I need to get rid of that stuff. But other than that, like other than the small hiccups up front, I felt like I pretty much ended into the LOL showcase. The second chance that I had at the LOL showcase, I ended it pretty good. So I was happy about that, and also realizing that I have more time than I thought. I have more material than I thought that I had. So maybe I could try to like reach out and try to get on shows where I could get like longer sets, extended sets, rather than just trying to put together a tight 5 minutes. I mean, you just work on that 15, hopefully get to a 20, and hopefully be able to do like opening feature work. Hopefully soon. Um, Hopefully that'll be something. What else is going on? Oh, I'm going back. I'm attempting to go back to the low carb kind of diet. Not really 100% keto like I did before. I do need to lose weight. I pretty much gained all the weight that I lost when I did the keto a couple years ago, and yeah, shit's getting really bad. Just as far as like my energy levels and how I feel when I eat, how I feel, when I wake up, and throughout the day, just like kind of like just dragging all the time. I have decided to quit drinking beer, so I'm still doing vodka. Vodka keeps me light on my toes and makes me feel good inside. So I'm gonna just take it easy on beer, because just beer just seems to make me a little groggy, a little slow. Doesn't really feel good the next day. With vodka, I don't feel too bad the next day. I don't feel 100%, but I got a good buzz out of it, so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, just switching over to the low carbs. So my energy levels have been really, really dipping. Like, in fact, to be honest, when I came home today from work, I crashed out, took a nap, and I'm not a person that takes a nap. Once I fall asleep, that's it. I'm done for that night. But yeah, I got home today and I just had like very low energy, no energy, and just because my body's just transitioning to um, a different fuel source, a different energy source. Since I'm not giving it the carbs, the bread, the pasta, the beer, the stuff that it usually uses to run. I'm not giving it that and trying to switch over to burning fat for energy. And hopefully the plan is to lose a little weight. I'm never gonna be a skinny dude. That's never gonna be my thing. For a little while, for like a couple months, I was under 200. I was rocking 198 for a while, and then I was like, oh man, okay, so let me go back to like watching what I eat now that I'm done with the ketogenic diet. Just being a little picky here and there about what I eat. And man, after 2 years, I'm back to like 260, 275. Before I started the ketogenic, I was almost 300 pounds. I was huge. Um, so I'm trying to get down. If I could get down to like the 210s, 220s, I'll be happy with that. Definitely not gonna be as strict as it was the first time around, because I was fucking miserable. It's hard doing like a specific diet that nobody else around you is doing. So if they want to go out to family or friends want to go out to for breakfast tacos, or if they want, or if Thanksgiving comes around, there's nothing but carbs on the table, and all you eat is turkey. It just sucks. It sucks being having to isolate yourself, not isolate yourself, but it's having to be strict about what you enjoy in the situation while everybody else is enjoying whatever the fuck they want to enjoy. You know, so I'm never gonna get that strict about it. Maybe that's the plan right now because I'm really in denial what I need to do, how strict I need to be about it. But but yeah, definitely getting back in the goal of a more ketogenic based diet with some breaks every now and then. Like this past Sunday, because the wife's doing it too. She's watching her carb intake. But Sunday we just went off the rails. Got tacos, got fries, chicken, and fried chicken, and all that stuff. And we felt horrible. And of course, the Monday was even worse because our body's like, "Hey, I thought we were being bad again," and then we're like, "Nope, no carbs." Um, so yeah, and then it's fucking with my brain too. Like my body's just not acting the same the way that it should when it's used to eating all the carbs and all that stuff. So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, I'm a little bummed. I was supposed to be hosting. There's a new mic going on at El Luchador, which is a bar right outside of Southtown. A great bar. I like going there. They have really good deals on the drinks. It's a nice venue, nice layout and stuff. But we were trying to start. Well, not me. I'm just kind of helping along with it. But there's a new open mic, a comedy open mic that's supposed to be starting there every Thursday, and this week would have been my week to host. So I was pretty excited about that because I need to practice, hosting shows. But then we found out at the last minute that Luchador accidentally double booked that night. They had a touring band from out of town that was going to be coming in on Thursday, playing at 10 o'clock. So they asked us to move it to 8 p.m., but 8 p.m. there's another open mic at Josh's 22, and we don't. I keep saying we, but it's not really me. But I'm just part of the people who are trying to build it up. People are trying to run it. But the idea behind the La Lucha El Luchador comedy open mic is to give comedians an opportunity to do two mics in one night. We were never The intention was never to compete with Jokesters 22, who has the 8 o'clock mic. Um, you know, but it's not a competition against them. It's just an opportunity for the comics that want to get more stage time, get more reps in, to try out new stuff in front of a new audience, type of thing. So when Luchador found out that they had double booked the Thursday night at 10 p.m., they're like, "Why don't you just do the open mic at 8 o'clock?" And we just didn't think that it would be a good idea. Being that it's the second week of the Luchador mic, we just didn't think it would be a good idea to ask people like, "Hey, come over here at 8 o'clock instead of the usual spot at 8 o'clock." So we just canceled it. We canceled it this week, but we are going to continue it next week. Keep this one going. So just give people as many opportunities as possible to get on stage. If you're new to comedy, if you've been wanting to try open mics, and maybe you're not ready to try, the LOL on Tuesday or the Jokesters 22 on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Maybe try a bar mic, because with those they're a little bit more laid back. They can be kind of rough, especially if it's a crowd that really doesn't give a fuck about the open mic comedy. That can be kind of rough, but also it's kind of free to just try out new stuff in front of a bar crowd rather than a comedy crowd. Just because the expectations are a little bit higher at a comedy crowd or comedy club open mic. Bar mics are a lot more fun. So yeah, so keep that in mind. El Luchador on Thursdays, the La Lucha comedy open mic. Sign up is online. If you follow me on Instagram or my Facebook page, you could get the information. There is a link to sign up for the 10 p.m. open mic on Thursdays, just so we can get that list going and be prepared. And it's not like a first come first serve basis type of thing. But yeah, so you got the Monday mic that's in Cibolo or Shirts. That's going on. Then you have the Tuesday at LOL, or also at the Elbow Room. They have a mic that goes on over there if you're interested in trying it out. Wednesday they have the Oak Hill Taverns open mic. That's a little bit of a late mic. I think sign-in's like at 8:30. I think the show's like at 9:30. But that's a place to go on Wednesday. I know there's variety mics in between here and there, but those are the ones that I know that are for comedy for sure. And then of course Thursday, Jokesters 22. Sign up is at 7. Shows at 8. The La Luchador, which is going to be on Thursday as well. Shows at 10 o'clock. Sign up is through online. People could still walk in and sign up, but priority is going to go to the people who sign up through the email. I don't think there's an open mic on Friday. Saturday they have the Fitzgerald's, which is a really late mic, like 11 o'clock, something like that. That's at Fitzgerald's sometimes. And then Sunday there's a few variety mics here and there. So yeah, if you're interested in doing open mics, trying in comedy, or if you just want to check out the local comics, or sometimes there's out of town comics hitting up these mics as well. Those are the places to find them. So that would be cool if you support those places, or also be cool if you go and you sign up and you do some comedy, you try some comedy. It is a lot of fun. It can be stressful, and depending on how serious you take it or how serious you plan on taking it, it could be very rewarding, and it also could be very depressing. That's just how it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. Or at least that's how it is for me. It's a great ego boost. It really feels good when it goes good, and when it feels bad, you're probably not gonna sleep that night. If you give a fuck about it, if you really care that much about it. Um, so yeah, that's it for this week's episode. Just want to do a short little solo episode because I do really feel good about life, and it's been a while. And I know I'm usually like a downer type of person, but I'm not. I'm really feeling very stoked on life, and it's been a long time since I've been felt this stoked on life. Things are going good. My calendars are filling up with shows, with comedy shows, and that's kind of on me too because I'm really not like a social person. I really don't go out of my way to be seen by people, but that's just how it works. If you want a show, you need to show people that you are there. Nobody's looking for you. Um, Nobody's gonna come find you to put you on their show. You got to go out to people. You got to talk to people that book shows. You got to talk to people who are on shows, who know of shows. You got to talk to people. Um, so yeah, thank you again for listening. For sure, I'll have a guest next week. I have a few people interested. I was trying to be kind of loose with it, like, oh yeah, we'll just whenever we find time, we'll sit down and do it. But no, I think I'm gonna stay strict to like Wednesdays, just so we could put stuff, put it on the calendar, put it down, lock it in, and then Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, do a recording with a guest. I have a few people in mind. A few people have asked to come on. And so I'm gonna start filling up the calendar with that rather than like trying to be like, oh, are you free tomorrow? Let's sit down and do a podcast. Let's try to maybe plan it out just so I could keep a solid schedule of for the BarbacoaCore Podcast. That's it for this week. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate you listening. Follow us on Instagram at BarbacoaCore Podcast. You can find anything BarbacoaCore related or Patrick C. Huerta related at www.barbacoacore.com. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Peace.